Hello guys, and welcome again to yet another iRONiX media video. So you have turned on your device and you see a logo either looking like this or this, depending on whether you are using a smartphone or a computer. And some of us just don't know and don't care what it is, because at the end of the day, all you want to do with your device is either make a call, get some of your projects done, or maybe, watch a movie, play some games, open social media and browse the internet and all that kind of stuff. But what makes this possible? I mean, considering the fact that you cannot interact with your smartphone the same way you interact with a person, what makes it possible for you to tell a computer, this is what I want to do? So all of this is made possible by a very important and special program on your device called the operating system, or in short, OS. Now, an operating system is basically a software which acts as a link between you as the user and the device hardware. So how does this operating system start operating? So the first step that you do is powering or pressing the power button on your device. And once you have done that, a process is initiated. Electricity is passed to the various components of your device. After that, another process called the power on self-test, or in short, post, is initiated, and this is a test to check whether your computer main memory, your output device, or even your input device like your mouse and keyboard are checked whether they are okay. And in case an error occurs, or maybe one of your devices is working incorrectly, a beep sound is produced. And I'm very sure some of you who have ever used a computer have ever come across a sound which sounds like this. Yeah, some of these sounds are the ones which illustrate or give a sign whether your computer has something wrong. Now, the next step that takes place is now for your operating system to be loaded into the main memory. This is where the operating system starts working and executing all the initial files. After that, the system configuration process begins. And this is where drivers are loaded into the memory. Drivers are simply programs that help you interact and help with the functioning of your hardware components. The next step is loading the system utilities, and these utilities can either be volume control or the antivirus programs or software. The final step is what we call the user authentication, and this is where you enter your credentials, whether your username and password, or even fingerprint for those who are using the smartphones or even the laptops that enable fingerprint control. After that, your device is now ready to use. When you start interacting with your device and you click on an application or a program, that application sends a request which is called a system call. And this system call is the one which specifies the kind of resources that it needs in order for that application to work. And this system call is now sent to the operating system. The operating system then gathers all these requests from the applications that you are using and organizes them according to where each of the requests is supposed to go to. Whether it's supposed to go to the disk drive, whether it's supposed to go to the printer, whether it's supposed to go to the CPU itself. It is the one which organizes and decides this one will go this way. After each request has been sent to the respective hardware, the hardware now responds according to how it's supposed to act, and therefore the hardware now sends back a response to the operating system, and then the operating system gives you the feedback which you see on your screen. Now, there are various types and examples of operating systems which are out there, and we use them every day. If you're using a laptop or a personal computer, you have ever come across Microsoft Windows, you have come across something called Mac OS, and even Linux. On the smartphone side, we have Android and iOS, and by the way, I did a video about them, so you can check it out later. And each of these examples of operating systems have their own versions. Let us look at them. In Microsoft Windows, we have Windows 11, which is the latest one. We also have Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7. Now the other older versions are Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows ME or Windows Me. We also have Windows 98, Windows NT, Windows 95, Windows 3.0, Windows 1.0 up to the oldest version, which is MS-DOS. And MS-DOS means Microsoft Disk Operating System, and this one was released back in 1981. Now from Vista all the way to MS-DOS, these ones are no longer used anymore. Some of the versions are quite obsolete and no longer work in new computers, but thankfully mostly XP is the only one which is maybe still kicking around up to now, but only a minimum amount of users use it these days. In macOS, there are various number of versions, the oldest one being macOS Leopard. We also have macOS Snow Leopard. After that, there was macOS Lion, macOS Mountain Lion, macOS Mavericks, macOS Yosemite, macOS El Capitan, macOS Sierra, macOS High Sierra, macOS Mojave, macOS Catalina, macOS Big Sur, and the latest we have is the macOS Monterey. Linux OS also has its own versions. We have the Debian Linux, Gentoo Linux, Ubuntu Linux, Linux Mint, CentOS, Fedora Linux, Kali Linux, Arch Linux, and also the OpenSUSE. When it comes to the smartphone world, let us begin with the iOS. iOS versions begin from iOS 1, iOS 2, iOS 3, iOS 4, so on and so forth, up to the latest one, which is the iOS 15 that was released in September 20th, 2021. Android versions also follow the same suit. We have Android 1, Android 2, Android 3, Android 4, so on and so forth, up to the latest one, which is the Android 12 that was released in October 4th, 2021. Now there's so much to talk about when it comes to operating systems, and trust me, this is just the basics of what the operating system is and what it does. In case you want to know more about operating systems, let me know in the comments section and let me know if you need to see a part 2 of this video. So, have you liked this video? If you have liked it, a thumbs up and a subscription to my channel will be highly appreciated. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed so far, and thank you so much for all those who keep supporting my content. Thank you. Thank you for the far that I have reached. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.